The win over Clemson put Tech in the top 20. They jumped all the way up to number 16 in the polls. They were about to face their big foe, Georgia. Georgia had had a solid season as well, and came into this game ranked number 9. You'd think a top 25 matchup between two rivals would get a lot of exposure, but this game was a noon kickoff on SEC Network. It's unfortunate because, as you will see, this is one of the greatest rivalry games ever played in college football history.
Showdown between two top 20 teams as they get it together for the 107th time going back to 1893. So glad you...
These two teams go into this game with identical records. Tech is 9-2, 6-2 in conference play. Georgia is 9-2, 6-2 in conference play. In a couple hours or so, that will change. Someone's gonna win, someone's gonna lose. Georgia drove right down the field and scored with a Nick Chubb 1-yard run. After a couple of punts, Georgia found themselves down at Tech's 1-yard line looking to punch it in again. If they score here, Tech will be in really poor position, down by 2 scores.
They'll go to Chubb again. Lost the football. Georgia Tech has it.
Well, you talk about a big play.
Crisis averted. Tech would drive into Georgia territory, and Harrison Butker would set up for a 37-yarder.
5 today. 37-yard attempt. Harrison Butker, 10 out of 16 on the year. His long is 46. Right between the hash marks, and it's blocked. And guess who got it? Ray Drew with the block.
Well, Georgia again threatened, and it looked like they would go up 2 scores as Sony Michel darted for the end zone.
They will set this whole thing up. Sony Michel cuts it back to the 5, dives for the pylon. It'll be just shy of the ball come out. Georgia Tech says they have it, and they do in the end zone for a touchback. What a break for Georgia Tech.
Talking about dodging.
Yet another huge break for the Jackets. With time running low in the first half, Tech finally put together a complete drive and scored to tie the game at 7 off of a Darren Waller touchdown reception.
Pause or a quarterback run to anything.
13 plays on this drive. Thomas will throw it, lob it up in the air. Touchdown, Georgia Tech. They go to Darren Waller, all 6'5", hauls in the pass.
And that's what having a guy...
The teams went into their locker rooms at the half with a 7-7 ball game. It easily could have been much different had big plays not been done by the Tech defense. Midway through the third quarter, Tech drove down the field and found themselves at Georgia's 1-yard line. If they punch it in, they'll have the lead and possibly control of this game.
All 11 are right there.
Thomas keeps it. And he is stopped shy of the goal line. Georgia says they have it. No whistle. Damian Swan. There he goes.
Did he seriously not break the plane on that? Well, in case you can't tell, we are in Sicko's game territory here, and it unfortunately appears that in order to win, Tech's not only going to have to overcome Georgia, they'll have to find a way to overcome the referees too. Tech eventually got to basically the same position, 3rd and goal from inside the 5. Would some more bullshit happen?
2:19 to go, third quarter. Lasky left side, touchdown, Georgia Tech.
Lasky's 6th touchdown run of the season.
Thankfully, no. Tie ball game. Georgia would start the scoring in the 4th with a field goal from Marshall Morgan. However, Tech would then drive down the field, and Zach Lasky would give Tech the lead with his 2nd score of the day, and with only 4:22 left in the game.
yards. That's the best offensive lineman on the team right there. Number 70, big Shaq Mason.
Lasky, right side, breaks a tackle. Touchdown, Georgia Tech from 8 yards away, and the Jackets have the lead.
After this, Tech's defense wouldn't even have to come out on the field thanks to a very strange play and Tech's special teams capitalizing on it. UGA has a very big stadium. It seats over 90,000 and is the largest in the state of Georgia. On one side of the stadium, you have 3 decks. And on the other side, in place of the third deck, is a large press box. And at this point in the day, that press box was making a huge shadow over the field, making it harder to see.
And well on both sides of the football.
Short kick. Georgia Tech has it. They scoop it up, or did it hit out of bounds? They're going to say Georgia Tech will.
Can't advance it. They're going to say he's recovered it right around the 26, 27-yard line. And Georgia just went to sleep special teams-wise.
Tech would catch the kickoff. How many times do you see the kicking team catch their own kickoff? Not much. Another strange play and another strange game. Now Tech has the lead and a chance to ice this game.
Total yards for Georgia Tech on the ground. They're up to 367. Third down. Thomas lost the football. Georgia has it. Marlo Herrera.
One thing that you couldn't have happen.
It was rare this season that you would see Justin Thomas make a mistake. However, that mistake might come back to hurt more than any other. Georgia would drive and drive and drive down the field. Tech's defense finally found themselves in a somewhat good situation. 4th and goal for Georgia. One stop, Tech wins the game. If Georgia scores, well, it would not be good. In cruel fashion, Justin Thomas, who has been Tech's leader and star throughout this magical season, makes the mistake that might cost them the game. Georgia coach Mark Richt now has a decision to make on special teams. He can kick it deep for a touchback, and Tech will likely have to drive 75 or more yards down the field with not a lot of time. He could also choose to squib kick it, which would be risky, but it would run time down and make it less likely for Tech to have a chance. This is what Mark Richt decided.
18 seconds to go. Hudson Mason to Malcolm Mitchell. Short kick. Out to the 43-yard line.
He chose the squib kick, and Tech was able to get it past the 40, meaning one big play could possibly put Tech in field goal range.
You're watching SEC Network Football presented by Allstate as Georgia Tech with 13 seconds to go. First down and 10, but a long way to go. They pick up enough to get into field goal range.
This takes one big play and to get out of bounds.
Thomas, he's going to try to run, has the first down. Now we'll get out of bounds, and there are 5 seconds left. Make it 4.
Being in Athens, the clock ran 2 seconds too much. It should have been at 6. It ran all the way down to 4. Justin Thomas showed his ability to make something out of nothing on this play. He was this close to being sacked. That close. But he escaped, had a 21-yard run, and put Tech inside the 40. He has done just enough to give Tech one more shot. If this shot works out, it will erase the memory of the mistake that gave Georgia the lead. It's going to be a 53-yard field goal. Harrison Butker has already been blocked once, and his career long is only from 48. Mark Richt calls timeout, gives Tech time to think about their option. They can either go for a Hail Mary or trust their kicker, who has never made a kick beyond 50 yards, to make a 53-yard field goal to try and send this to overtime.
Had one block today. He could fix all that right now with a 53-yarder for Georgia Tech to send it into overtime.
Here we go. The crowd will tell you the story.
For the first time in the history of Sanford Stadium in Athens, we will have an overtime game. Georgia would win the overtime coin toss and choose to defend, giving Tech the first offensive possession. With only 25 yards to get to the end zone, Tech drives there with ease, and Zach Lasky has his third score of the day.
Certainly would.
Lasky driving to the end zone, touchdown, Georgia Tech. His third today.
The way he has stepped in for St. John Days and performed, I think he's their MVP, no doubt about it. Right here, they get Floyd up into the air. You have to play leverage. You cannot give up space. You've got to get your pad level low. You go high, it makes it an easy block for Aaron Joe, the right tackle, and Shaq Mason to get push.
No, not like this, no. Not after all the heroics to end regulation. Are you serious? Georgia blocks a Harrison Butker kick again. Tech is now only up 6. Georgia is going to start at the 25. If they score and make their extra point, Tech loses. Not like this. This can't happen. This Tech team has given 100% and then some. They have given their all. Not like this. They couldn't. No. It's on the defense. It's not likely, but they need to make one more stop. To make it even worse, Georgia eventually gets a first down and drives inside the 10. It's first and goal. There's 9 yards between Georgia and the end zone. And assuming their kicker makes an extra point, Georgia will win the game.
Nick Chubb stuffed again. Boy, Georgia just can't get the edge on these run plays.
Boy, and I tell you what, Keyshawn Freeman was being blocked by Jeb Blazevich, the tight end on the outside. Kind of rotated around or gave him a spin move and then fell right back into the plate. Watch the edge. And you see Freeman out of position. He rotates around, kind of spins back inside, and is right there to bring down Nick Chubb.
Second down and goal.
DJ White has just had a missile of a football thrown right his way. Now, yes, he's not wide open. It's a 50-50 ball. The Georgia receiver is right next to him. In fact, it's Malcolm Mitchell. It's the receiver who caught the touchdown that gave UGA the lead with 18 seconds left. If DJ could somehow get his hands on this game, this crazy, wild, ridiculous game, will finally come to an end. All the fans in the college football world can do at this point is watch.
Passes, and it is intercepted! Intercepted! Picked off! Picked off! It's picked off! It is DJ White who intercepted it, and the Jackets have come into Athens and stunned Georgia in one of the best football games you will ever see.
It's so beautiful, this game of football. Almost as soon as DJ caught that pass, the scoreboard in Athens was turned off. The Georgia fans couldn't believe it. The little Tech section, full of the brave souls who traveled to Athens to watch the game, erupted. The Tech team went and celebrated in front of them, grabbed some of the famous hedges, and got a souvenir. Eventually, the team made their way to the locker room in the bowels of Sanford Stadium. They were doing their usual post-game breakdown, but suddenly, 3 men entered the room.
Guys, my name is Shelton Stevens. I'm with Children's Healthcare of Atlanta, and since 1933, we have been presenting the Governor's Cup for the winner of a Georgia Tech football game. Congratulations to you guys, one heck of a game. I'm not actually going to be doing the presentation. It is our cup, but we do have the governor from the great state of Georgia. He's a Georgia grad. I'm Mercer. I'm neutral. Hey, not in here, you're not. Well, let me say on behalf of the citizens of the state of Georgia, a hard-fought game. I was here last year and you went into 2 overtimes. This is certainly one that's been a long time coming your way. I want to congratulate all the players, the coaches, and for the fans who supported you throughout all this. Sorry for you though. Go beat Florida State!
It seems Tech was so exhausted about their win they somehow forgot about the trophy presentation. And to be honest, who needs a trophy? You have the memories, you have the feelings, you have the joy and jubilation. It will last you a lifetime. If you have those, do you really need anything else?